Hey folks, and welcome to week 2 of the book release blog. By the time you guys see this video, my book will be out in a couple of days, July 27th, which will be a Saturday, so I'll go ahead and post a pre-order link in the description. It'll be the digital ebook, and then the physical copy will be coming out sometime in next month or so. So you guys will be able to get it on Patreon, of course. All my patrons will get access to the digital ebook. It'll be the fully illustrated version. And then, of course, you'll be able to buy it on Gumroad. And I'll eventually post it later on Amazon and Kobo and so on and so forth. So I thought what better way to celebrate the occasion of my book release than showing you guys how I make the internal illustrations for my book. So to make a long story short, I tend to range between making artwork that's in full color or in monochrome. I tend to use monochrome more for my literary work, so for my webcomics and for my books. I like to print in black and white, one, because it's a lot easier to pick up the contrast. I like the kind of more graphic novel, illustrated, gritty look. And I just think that it overall works better in a independent indie book release, because when you're dealing with actual color, you have to get different color grading, things have to be satin, and it's a whole mess, and I would rather just work with black and white. And besides, that's how I used to actually draw when I was a traditional artist. So doing things in black and white is almost kind of like a homage to that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you guys how to make an internal illustration. So as always, I start with my Surface tablet. This is the main machine I use for my illustrations, and I've got my pen here. As always, try to make it clear that I don't use artificial intelligence, no generative AI stuff, no ChatGPT, none of that stuff. Everything I make is completely from scratch. Funny story, back in the day when I started doing digital, I actually still sketched with a pencil, and I would scan it into the computer and then just draw over it with the pen. But now I pretty much do all of my artwork digitally via Clip Studio Paint. I still do traditional, but it's just not my main format now. But basically what I've got here is I've got different templates. So I've got a vertical template here, kind of for scenes to show scale, or if I want to do a full body shot of a character. I've got a more square. These tend to be smaller illustrations that I put between paragraphs. And same kind of deal with the vertical illustrations too. But those are more for intense like action scenes. But again, as I mentioned in the last sequence, all of the illustrations are in black and white. And this time I will actually be showing you guys the sketching and lining and coloring process, it's black and white and gray, process from start to finish, because last time all the sketches were pretty much already done, because it was like a 24-part series and I had like sketched them all in one go and I forgot to record it. But this time I'm actually going to show you guys the process of how I do the sketching as well. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. have the sketch all ready to go. I have these 3 characters here. This one right here is essentially the main antagonist of Book 4, which is Part 1 of Volume 2. Volume 2 being the one that follows Volume 1, which was just released. Essentially, every volume is a trilogy of sorts, so Volume 1 is books 1 through 3, and then Volume 2 will be books 4 through 6, and so on and so forth until Volume 4. It's going to be a 12-part series, basically. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and start lining this. Alright, so I got the line art done for one of these characters here, so now I'm going to take a quick tea break. So the line art is all done and ready to go, so we'll go ahead and start with the monochrome coloring process. Okay, so here is the completed version of the illustration. Kind of like last time, as you can see, it's more of a flat thing. It's not really too shaded. This is meant to be printed more on like uncoated and matte paper. And what lack of shading does is that it kind of makes the textures pop out. You might have seen it in the footage. I kind of use this technique where it kind of looks almost grainy, almost kind of like a spackle texture, unless if you're working with like really high end paper, like using satin, which is often used for art books, which I do plan on making, by the way. You really want to kind of go with the simplified style just to make all the little details pop out. So that's my overall methodology with making internal illustrations. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Again, I'll post the link to my novel down in the description. It's now finally available as an ebook. I'll finally be getting it printed sometime in August or September. We'll see how that goes. It's quite a bit of a process, but again, thanks for joining, and I will see you guys next time.